NLP anchoring in the workplace. Hello, my name is Paul Simos from Big Vision Life Coach. NLP anchoring in the workplace. It was in my early 20s. I had this really awesome job as I was in the sales department and I was selling accessories for boats. So what I would do, my job would be to look after the east coast of Sydney of New South Wales, Australia. So I would go out onto the road and I would sell many different items that you find on boats. Life jackets, cleats that you find on the boat, little motors, life jackets, paddles, oars. And I would travel up and down the coast visiting my clients selling these items. And it was a really wonderful job. I spent most of my time out on the road visiting the clients. I would come back to the office 2 or 3 times a month where I would have to do some paperwork, prepare myself for the next trip to go back out. And I really have fond memories of the time. Now, when I think of those fond memories, I also think of Mr. Johnson. He was one of my clients and I can really remember him to this very day very clearly. I remember the first time I visited Mr. Johnson. For 20 minutes, he told me about a problem that he had with his previous place where he worked. Then the second time I met him, he then told me about another problem with a company that he had dealings with. There was a challenge there and he spent time telling me about that. The third time I met him, he had a challenge with one of our invoices. There was a problem with the goods didn't match up and I had to help him sort that out. Then the fourth time I met him, he had to speak to me because he had another problem which we had to sort out. Anyway, I was in the office one day and I was preparing for my trip and I was getting close to the end of the day. And just before I was about to leave, I was tidying up my desk and the receptionist turned around and looked over her shoulder and she said, "Hey Paul, there's a Mr. Johnson on the phone and he wants to speak with you." And as soon as I heard his name, Mr. Johnson, I sat back in my seat and let out a big sigh. And I heard myself thinking in my head and I said, "What's the problem now?" Understand this. In NLP, we call that anchoring, where we associate a certain person or a thing that elicits an emotion, a feeling, or a certain response in our body. Now, because of the constant contact with Mr. Johnson, there was an anchor developed, and it was a negative anchor. As soon as I thought of his name, I thought there was going to be a problem. What's next? What do I have to solve now? And actually, as it turned out, there was no problem. He actually wanted to invite me to his birthday party. So in the workplace, in our life, we are creating anchors all the time. There are positive anchors and there are negative anchors. And to have a great life, to have a life where we can get our dreams and goals and results we want to be aware of where I'm being anchored in a negative way. So I could collapse those anchors and increase the anchors that are going to motivate me, going to drive me, and going to help me to reach my outcomes in my business life and also in my personal life. Next month, in a few weeks' time, we've got an NLP training. And in this training, we're going to go very deep into anchoring. We're going to discuss what anchors are, how they happen, and how you can collapse anchors, how we can increase some really good anchors to empower ourselves to be motivated, to take action, to get the results we want. So that's my message today. It's about anchoring in NLP. And if you want to become a master communicator, you want to learn another skill, please click on the link below. Email me, message me. There's going to be a link down there to register for this training, and so you can learn the many skills and techniques, anchoring being one of them, to become an awesome super communicator. That's it. That's my Mega Living message today. If you like the video, please click on the like button down below. If you'd like to share the video, please hit that share button. Send it to your friends, to your colleagues. Also, if you haven't subscribed yet, it's a real must. you got to hit that red subscribe button so you get regular daily updates when I upload a video. That's it. That's the message today. So have an awesome finish to the weekend. High five. Talk to you next time. Bye for now.